Okay, now we were working on lab 3，咁我哋做第三個 lab 啦。This is we will create a EC2 server with more detail this time。咁我哋再開翻部 server 啦，今次就 focus 啲個 setting，and you remove the terminal here，and then click on start lab。It take you this time maybe faster，今次可能會快啲，因為其實冇乜嘢勁嘅，見到佢就咁擺個 server。We will reveal the detailed setup of the EC2 run by run this time and just give the time for it to click on the detail, just wait for its creation。咁啊，等一陣間等佢起到先嚇。Okay, after about nearly 5 minutes，差唔多5分鐘it takes time to create and then you click on AWS。咁我哋撳 AWS 啦。You will have a console here and then we will try to work on the lab one by one. Okay, we just have this set up. Okay, we just scroll down and then you have a console here, this task one. And click on EC2 if you have a history record. If you don't have it, just go to the top, type EC2. Okay, to make sure your region. Since the case that if you have accidentally trained to other region in previous lab exercise, you will when you log in again, it will not be in Virginia。咁其實如果你想我咧唔小心撳錯掣咧，咁你今次就喺第二度。Make sure in Virginia, otherwise you will not have permission. And now we will check out a create instance. Click on the instance here, and then we will choose launch instance. We will create a web server. Just create a web server. And then we pick a army. And then the army is a template for you to create a RAM virtual machine, so-called instance. It is just everything is there, the software is there, and then the OS there, and then just copy it and then into run it a virtual machine。咁其實係一個模嚟嘅啫，一個種嚟嘅 file 嚟嘅，知 virtual machine 咁咪吸過去，跟住就裝晒啲嘢裡面嘅諗起咯。We pick Amazon Linux and the latest version. Yeah, the latest version. And then we just go through the correct start here. Does this train anything? Okay, no. Oh, we can just have the screen here. It says feed here. It means you don't have to pay if you have your own account for you can have some 1 year's free usage。咁啊，其實如果你 free tier 二呢部即係你如果你開咗新 account 咧，1年免費開住部機唔刪就係呢只啦嚇。And then you need to double check the setup. And we will talk about the architecture and we will say x86 or ARM. This is the different CPU architecture. This is some special type of CPU from Amazon. It's so-called Nitro system. They have their own CPU now. It will be ARM architecture。咁其實咧 X86就 general 嗰啲 Intel 啊、AMD 嗰啲咯。咁但係啱其實就係即係對於 AWS 嚟講，佢就有一套 CPU 叫 Gravion。Nitro System and Gravion，咁其實 Gravion 嗰啲就係全部都係第幾代，咁其實就啱你嘅。咁 we need to train about the instant type and it's a micro run. It's a very small, very small server. You see, it's very cheap as well. It's just one CPU and one memory, 1 GB memory。咁啊1 GB RAM 一粒要好少嘅。咁also, you need to access the piece, access the VM, your virtual machine, the server. You need to pick a key, otherwise you will not able to log it in later。咁其實你之後你想 log in 入去部機，如果你唔落條 key 咧，咁其實理論上就唔得嘅。不過其實當然有其他方法做啦。咁其實有個叫 System Manager 或者叫做 Amazon EC2 Connect 嘅 service 都可以幫你做 log in。咁如果傳統模式就用 key 啦。The traditional style is using the key, but for the latest version, the latest technology, you can use System Manager or EC2 Connect to log in your server, even though you don't put the key there. But for this lab exercise, since this is academic, is not allowed to using the latest service in general. So you will pick the classical one, just create a private key and public key pair, just use a private key put into the server, and then it's a login basis on the private key to generate the password or SSH. Okay, for network, We pick the network. This is very similar to previous one, as we have the lab VPC created in other lab。咁我揀 lab VPC 啦。咁其實咧呢啲 lab 咧，其實佢會幫你駁翻嘅，即係其實你上次做啲嘢咧，今次開機就應該係着嗰啲。點解要 boot 機時間就係咁解啦。Um, and we select the VPC lab VPC, and we need to very careful to select the subnet. But does it mention about the subnet? You have two public subnet. It's okay. Just one of the public subnet is to be fine. Is the server is to be put in the public subnet。咁其實咧，你諗下，你要上到你 web server 要俾人入俾人出咧，咁其實一定係擺 public 嘅，即係除非你玩 load balance 但咁你擺 public 先得嘅，所以你邊個 public 理論上都 OK。And then you need to select your existing web security group. And okay, sorry. You need to create one. Yeah, create one. Create a new one. This is the step very similar to the previous lab exercise. But previous case, last time you create the security group and then select here, but now you just create the security group directly here. 咁今次咧就用即係直情喺度起個新 group，上次就整個 group 又黐落去啦。咁其實都差唔多嘅，即係不過我又唔係好中意成日都喺度 create 嘢咯。Okay, and then you have an inbound rule. It means internet connection into the server. Okay, under the inbound, we notice that one rule exists. Remove this rule. We remove all the rule. 咁我哋咧今次咧就係鏟晒啲 rule 嘅，即係一陣間做個實驗就係入唔到啊，又上唔到 server 啊。You will not able to connect it, or also the web server is not accessible. We will just remove the rule. There's no inbound rule at all. For the disk, just keep the default. 8 gigabyte is very good enough for Linux in general. It's very small Linux. You don't put many data there, but you can attach another additional hard disk to the volume is hard disk, additional hard disk to it or set the size。咁其實你可以加多幾隻 hard disk，咁改咁大啲細啲，咁有時可以轉下啲 type 咁樣，有好多個 generation 唔同嘅速度咁樣咯。咁其實 professional 即係買咗個頻寬 make sure 嗰個 hard disk 嗰個速度係一定俾到你，因為其實咧呢啲 disk 咧其實就時快時慢嘅，因為其實 network drive 嚟嘅，OK 你記住呢啲係 network drive 嚟，咁其實個 speed 係唔 constant 嘅。如果你想有個平均速度，你 need to buy 要用 professional I/O。This is a different type of volume here, but in general, you take the latest version, it will give you a better performance. But for the case that general purpose, everything say general purpose or not mention perversion, does it means that the speed will be right all the time. Is the bandwidth is rare. Remember, this is a network drive. It depends on the network condition inside AWS. So if you want to perversion that's IOPS, it means that it will keep certain bandwidth for your disk, for your network disk. Okay, just keep default and don't mount additional variant. 咁我用唔加嘢啦。And then we explain the advanced details. We will set a termination protection setup to enable it. Termination protection is important for the production environment。咁我哋咧會揀一個 termination protection 會開咗佢，因為咧其實個 case 係咧你會有時唔小心殺咗部機嘅，因為你喺個 cloud 上面你撳錯掣就會 terminate，即係會 kill 部機。我都試過 kill 啲 production 機撳錯掣，咁你一唔記得撳呢個咧，意外地你就會殺咗部機。You don't want to have the accidentally delete your terminate, I mean delete your web server. Okay, this is maybe important for you for your business. When you delete it, you will lose all of the data and then you can't recover. 咁你 delete 咗就冇啦，乜個 bit 都攞唔翻。So it's important server. So we enable the termination detection protection so that it will not be accidentally click on it or type a command wrongly and delete the server. And we will input the user data like last lab, but the script is different. But this is quite straightforward. You can just copy here and then you see this is just a web server. Since this time we will install the HTTP Apache server and then enable it and then start it. Enable as a background service so that every time the server start the server is starting, the web server also starting. The engine start, the web server start, and then we just echo the HTML so hello server。咁其實呢個就冇乜特別嘢咁，即係呢啲即係呢啲 command 咪裝機喎，裝完機咁你記得你裝完機要開，即係要 enable 呢個就唔係開 enable，即係變咗做一個服務有背景服務咧就 咩叫服務咧？服務就係沒有電佢就行咯。咁但係今次第一次行啊，你所以你叫佢開埋機。咁你其實咧每一次 boot 完機之後，你都希望佢着翻個 web server，所以你就一定會係 enable 服務。跟住咧，但係呢個咧你下一次唔使㗎啦，咁啊佢 enable 咗服務，每一次 boot 機佢就着啦。OK，let's continue and we will create a server. And then here, this is a summary for you: the single server, army, description, the setup, firewall, your new rule, hard disk, and so on and so on. And just get on summary, and then it's okay. You should launch the server now. Just click on launch instance. 咁啊開機啦，launch instance，and then you will see the instance ID very quickly since this is will give you a it immediate but it not mean the server is usable。咁其實會即刻見到 ID，但係唔係即刻用得嘅，都要抄 data 都要時間啦，係咪先？因為 boot 機其實 Linux 咁電腦都要 boot 機。We click on the ID, it will go to the EC2 instance with the filter. The filter by the ID, it will highlight it. Otherwise, you will see multiple instance in general if your account have multiple server。好多時你見好多部機咁其實落咗 filter 嘅同一部。We need to wait for the instance become running, and then we will test other setup。咁我哋等到行到，跟住我哋再試其他嘢啦。Okay, after a few more, after maybe 1 minute, just refresh it, you see it running, and the server is running, and then you click on select it, and then monitor. You will have some information for you. For example, you can see the system log, you can see the click on the graph, you have more detail. So example, you want to see check about the CPU. Click here, you can have a very large graph. But since the server just start for less than 1 minute, they don't have data yet. And for that case, if you want to debug it in case of some problem happen, what should you do? You can try to put the startup log. Good, the server is here, and then you monitor. You see the detail monitoring, but we are not so checking about that. You go to detail is information, but over the server, you can just select the server, or you can right click. Got the sim menu or go to action. You can have the instance setting something, or okay, this is setting, but you can monitor the log and troubleshooting. This is the system log. You click on it. Okay, the system log is not yet exist, so the server is not really ready in the boot up of the case. It's not really ready, and then you can back to it and you take the action. Also, again, you can have the snapshot of the screen. This is the monitor view, so that it is simulated. You got a monitor here. You are using Windows, you may see the blue screen。咁其實如果你用睇 log 你睇唔到啦，因為boot到機啦。咁但係如果你 Windows 死機咧，呢度見到藍畫面嘅。OK，咁啊呢啲即係因為呢個就好得意嘅，其他卡好似冇咁啊做到咁。You can check out the log，咁啊睇到 log 啦，睇 log 啦，boot 機 log 啦，跟住就 screenshot 啦。咁你想睇多啲嘢都可以，例如咁啦，你去 replace whatever，咁啊再睇 system log again。We try the system log again, but don't know why there's no log yet. Maybe the boot. So this is the reason why you say the server is start, but it does not mean this is complete your setup. And here you find is nothing here. Okay, let's continue. 咁我哋繼續睇啦，咁啊睇咗 monitoring 啦，咁應該會見到啲裝嘢嘅 log 嘅。If the setup is done, you should see the log here. You see something installation command and then some output update something. But I just tried this one, the 20 step 24. 但係有睇咗睇 get the screen 啦 but we don't have log yet. And just refresh. Okay, don't know what's happening, but suppose it should have the log here. Just wait for it. Okay, yeah, just wait for a few minutes. I found the data is just put up. You see the Linux command is just install something, install the web server. Here is a metric behind the Rocatium key, the private key. 咁其實個 metric 咧就係 boot 機嘅時候咧， 你揀咗條 key 咧，佢就用條 private key，然後就 gen 咗落 SH 度，咁其實就攞嚟落 in 嘅。咁呢度你都睇到嘅。咁啊見到個 public key 就係咁啦。你收埋條，即係你擺條 private key 入去，跟住你用 public key 入咁樣嘅。你即係 sorry 講錯咗，其實即係類似係咁樣擺條 key 係啦。Your public key have been saved。你係撈咗條 public key 入去，然後咧即係你用 key pair 佢撈條 public key 入去，跟住你就用條 private key 就喺個 SSH 嗰度射上去。The public key will put into the web server, and then you use the private key to log in the SSH. Here's the logic, and then you can refresh it, and you see the last command will be the count init something. You see Windows here, yeah, you see the key pair here, so that is a login. Okay, we should be able to continue. We should able to continue. 咁我哋繼續啦。Okay, yeah, you see the screenshot. We have the screenshot. We check that, and then the command here, and we need to update the. We try to access the server now. We try to access the server now. Okay, the IP address. Just go to here, IP address, and you select the server. I select the server here, and then you find the IP address like labs, the IPv4 here, and maybe make the screen better first. Yeah, okay. Copy it. Or IP address or the domain name, no difference. It's the same. Just copy it. But you will not be able to access your website. 咁你其實你吸咗 IP 抄佢行唔到嘅，因為你冇解防火牆啊嘛。The issue is that you remember the step you remove all of the security group rule, so there's no inbound rule at all。咁其實完全冇 inbound rule。嗱how to solve the problem? Go back to the security group. It is something very general. Every day you need to resolve it. It's unable to connect. I'll go to the web server here, and then you scroll here. This is a security tag, and then you can quickly to access your security group here. 咁其實咧，你撳一撳 security 就呢度揾啲 group，仲有其實 security group 可以有幾個嘅，所以其實你要小心啲逐個睇，咁就可以黐住部 EC2 嚟睇，你係比較好啲嘅。Since this is possible to have multiple security group attached into this instance, so it's better for you to review the security group here instead of go to the security group to check it directly. Since it may have multiple security group, you need to check it one by one. 咁你記住，因為其實可以黐幾條 rule，如果你真係要解決問題嘅話，你要喺度睇晒佢嘅。咁但係其實而家就易搞咗，因為有啲叫 check 通唔通嗰啲服務咁樣嘅，有個 connection 俾你 check 嘅。Okay, let's continue. We click on this security group, and then under the inbound rule here, okay, you in the group web security group, and then add the inbound rule. 咁啊 add 個 inbound rule 啦，跟住 add 翻條 rule 啦 ，add rule. And the protocol is HTTP is very well known, so you don't have to do anything. 咁 HTTP 好多人識嘅，咁啊 set 好晒俾你。咁啊最緊要有 source 啊，the most important is the source is IPv4 anywhere. Okay, and then you just need to save the rule and refresh. Yeah, the web server is accessible. 咁咪一搞掂個防火牆，跟住條 rule 就得啦，咁咪對到啦。Oh, let's continue. We want to start. Try to resize your EBS volume. It means the hard disk is full. You want to make it bigger. Bigger size. 嗱，咁hard disk 爆，咁其實呢啲好成日都發生嘅事情。hard disk 會爆，咁爆咗點搞啊？爆咗咪放大啲咯。咁其實呢啲 current 但係啲 hard disk 可以放大，但係唔可以縮細嘅，縮細會縮唔到細嘅，可以放大。You can make it bigger. Resize is bigger, but you can't reduce the size. Okay, remember. But you need there's a step here. The first step is to reside out in the cloud, and then you go to the server. The tool is the size expanded, and then reside the hard disk inside Linux. Okay, go to EC2 console. In general, you should stop the server before you resize it. But if you try, you know that it is possible to let the server run and resize. 其實就應該就熄咗機嚟 resize 就好啲嘅。咁但係其實唔熄機都可以 resize 嘅。咁啊，OK, click on the web server here. And then we stop the server. Stop the server, don't terminate it. Remember, don't terminate. You kill the server, you need to redo the RAM. You just come here, click here, and then stop the instance. 記得係熄機，唔好殺機。And then you go to the instance settings. Very quick. You don't have to wait for it. 咁我哋而家去 instance setting 啦。Okay. We need to look for the action menu. instance settings, and then okay, we instead of we not just train the volume, you also want to increase the computational power of your web server. Maybe is it too slow？咁其實咧呢啲又好 common 發生嘅，較大較細機就隨時較大，但係即係轉嗰個 hardware 啊，即係轉 CPU 同轉 RAM 咧，就點轉都得嘅，基本上唔理你嘅，大部分情況都。即係 architecture 就未必得啊，記住 architecture 就唔得，即係你而家用緊啱轉去 Intel 同嗰啲鹹島啊。Yeah, you remember you can train any most of the type training is allowed, but for the CPU architecture into monitor since the operation system you stick to the CPU architecture and the software is related to ARM. Is it running able to run in ARM? You will not be able to run in Intel and AMD. So you train the instance type, it's imply you train the CPU types as well maybe, but it will seem architecture it will work。咁我哋而家轉 type 啦，咁記住啦，又唔係即係理論上又唔係乜都轉得嘅，不過大部分情況你 train type 佢都幫你 filter。We train the type from the T2 micro to T2 small。OK just 改，咁我轉 T2 small 啦，咁好多時都會轉。咁你想快啲打啦，剔走佢，you remove the last word and then click on the small。You will see the difference. The cause is differences since it double the size, okay, double the memory, double. CPU is the same, single core, single virtual CPU, but there is you have more memory and no more VTR. Important, you have to pay. Okay, this is not cheap, no more free of charge. 咁啊唔係免費嘅，因為如果你係新 account，你免費1年用嘅啫，呢啲唔包啦。And then apply this one is you need to restart. Okay, you do need to stop your server to change the instant type. Otherwise it's not working。你換 type 就一定要熄一熄機再開。咁但係你話轉 hard disk size，即係你而家 resize 個 volume 就唔使熄機嘅。For the next step you will resize the hard disk, but for the resize the volume is not necessary to stop the server. But now we go to the storage tab. Okay. For directly you can go to the storage tab here. This is a EBS storage. Okay. Yeah. We figure out the disk setting volume here, EBS volume. You can click on here and then search for the hard disk. But this is no good for you for the case. You will do it difficult if you have a lot of instance. 咁其實你直接撳落呢度 volume 度揾翻佢咧，其實都得嘅。不過其實就咁撳咧就好鬼煩嘅，因為你唔知邊部機係邊個 hard disk。如果你機多咧，你喺度抄都抄死你。嗱，here's the instance using the disk. Yeah, but normally if you want to maintain an instance, you're better to follow this step to go to instance and then click on the server and 嗱咁其實最好咧就係揀部機跟住喺個 server 度撳 storage click on the server and then go to the storage one and then you will see different may have multiple volume attached to the server 你可能有幾隻 hard disk 咁你喺度揀你穩陣。So we found the hard disk here, just click on it. Now you go to the menu EBS volume and then we can do the resize. We want to modify the size from 8 GB to increase break to the larger one. Okay, just here, click on it, and then you just take on the action. Later we will do more other activity, but now we want to modify the volume. For the next sort is a backup and auto backup policy. 咁其實呢啲就係教下嘢啦。咁但係之後你會玩backup 啦 ，backup text snapshot 啦，即係成個 hard disk 影張相啦，吸晒所有 data 啦，咁可以自動 set life cycle policy， 自動 backup 定時定候啦。The life cycle policy means you can set some rule to automatically backup your hard disk based on a schedule, and you can detach its dangerous action just like USB cable， you unplug the hard disk， 即係要即係 detach 之後一定 USB hard disk 你撳粗掹佢出嚟咁，其實好危險啊！呢個就開緊機唔俾掹嘅應該，咁但係你如果撳 force 就會減粗掹。For force at the attachment is dangerous action. When the server, even though the server is running, you unplug it. Okay, we just it's minor, just modify the volume, and then you increase the size. I hold it. I have some lesson. Just about the size 60 megabytes. Remember, this is very expensive 嘅，可以好貴，因為逐級收錢嘅，你打多咗2個零就大鑊噶啦，咁好貴嘅，咁你可以改速度啦，改頻寬啦，你可以買嘅，咁你可以轉，even you can train the hard disk size, it will make a copy and then move to the move to the provision volume or provision tab provision the IOPS。嗱咁你淨可以轉埋個 tab 嘅，因為佢但係咧呢個唔可以轉好多次嘅，即係你唔可以即刻轉又轉，要有限嘅，每日轉幾多次嘅，你小心點樣狂轉。There is some limitation for you to train this setting. This is allowed a period of time, for example. I don't remember detail, but this is a time requirement for you. After you train it, and then you need to raise certain period of time, say I remember it's 8 hours, 4 hours, I don't remember, but you need to remember that this is not IO, you quickly train the hard disk. I just modify the size, and then done. We double the hard disk size, and then with more computational power. And then we just modify the volume from, they say 10, I double it up. You just may follow it. But if I want to train the worm again, yeah, I just show you. Refresh here. I double it, but I want to modify it again. Now you see the setting is dim. You are being modified. You can't change it. And now go back to the web server. We go to EC2 instance, and then we start it. Start the instance. We start the server again. Okay, we need to wait for it to start. But the step I think here is incomplete yet, as the problem is you resize the hard disk, but normally the Linux or Windows is don't know you're gonna. For example, if you have experience of adding a new volume new disk into your physical computer, you add a new disk, you need to format it, you need to expand the partition。咁其實一樣嘅，其實你呢度咧咁加大咗未做完嘅，即係嗱呢啲 step 係漏咗嘅，即係其實佢特登冇做。咁其實個 case 就係你買個 hard disk，你知買 hard disk 要 format 啊，要間 partition 啊，你如果 resize 咗，你都要間 volume 㗎，即係要間㗎。咁其實你冇間到，咁所以其實大咗都唔知嘅。咁但係我唔好肯定 Amazon Linux 係咪識自動做，但係其實應該係唔知嘅。咁如果你但係做呢啲嘢咧，其實咧你間完之後咧就要落一落 in 又改個 size 啦，又或者你用 System Manager 去搞咯。OK。Now we will wait for the server to start again, and then let's check is this able to access the server is it, but you need to get the IP again. And we access the web server again. It's running. Click on the server. Click on it. Okay, and then you go to details. Get the IP address. You need to get the IP address again since you refresh it will not working. The IP should be changed. In general, the IP will not be kept in AWS。通常 IP 有機會轉嘅，即係今次冇轉係好彩嘅啫。You are just lucky the IP address does not change in public IP address. Since the public IP address is a pool of shared IP in between all of the customer in AWS. You don't assume the IP will be always the same. Oh, okay, it's changes. Sorry, I just talked something wrong. I just changed. This IP is no longer 44 start. The new IP address is this one. It should be always changed when you stop and start the server. Okay, you will start the server, the IP will keep, but we stop and start, it will changes. 嗱啲熄機咧，再開就會轉 IP 噶啦。但係如果你 restart 就唔會轉 IP，個分別喺呢度。Okay, you see the web server is working, so you resize the hard disk and then change the instance type is work。咁啊，搞掂啦，改大 hard disk 同埋搞到啦。And then finally you try to terminate the instance， 即係殺咗部機睇下殺唔殺到，應該係殺唔到嘅。OK， 嗱，we try to terminate the instance, but do you remember that the instance have the termination protection enabled, so you try to click on it, it will not let you to terminate it. So you want to terminate it, you need to go to the instance setting about the change the termination protection. Okay, you change it, disable it, save it, and then you terminate the instance again. It's already disabled, so you can kill the server, terminate the server. 咁啊，因為 termination protection 開咗就散唔到嘛，咁解咗佢 enable 咗唔得嘛，咪 disable 翻佢，然後咪撳到咯。咁但係你緊要機你記得落啦，但係其實緊要機就再落多啲嘢嘅，就唔係咁簡單嘅。Okay, we stop the server and then we complete this lab exercise. Oh, same procedure. When you complete your lab exercise, remember to log out your account. Otherwise, it will corrupt your next lab exercise. And then you end the lab. Good. Yeah, you finished your first lab.